IWOCRAMA and the United Nations Development Program have recently signed a $200,000 contract to start Phase 2 of the Guyana Shield initiative. This is geared at promoting sustainable development of the project's eco-regional management framework. The initiative is designed to enable Guyana and 5 other countries within the Shield to benefit from the protection of natural resources. The current phase aims to set up a pilot project to develop and test appropriate mechanisms of compensation for ecosystem services. A sharing mechanism is also on the agenda to provide benefits to the local ecosystem managers and communities. City Hall is calling on citizens to report constables who are found breaking the laws. This was highlighted by the Public Relations Officer, Mr. Royston King, in an invited comment. Giselle Archibald has more.
Sources say the Public Relations Office of the Mayor and City Council is flooded with reports of corrupt constables. But when asked, PRO Royston King said he is unaware of such reports. He said, however, that if any constable is guilty of breaking the law, he or she will be dealt with accordingly.
Well, first of all, I don't know that we have corrupt constables working at the City Council. I really don't know. We're not aware of that. We've said time and again that people who have evidence of this should come forward to administration and we will deal with them. We have systems in place to deal with people who break the law and who violate our organizational values. And so if there is that case there, we'll be happy to look at it and to deal with it.
Mr. King says citizens of Georgetown who have information on such persons should come forward.
And again, that people who have evidence of this should come forward to administration and we will deal with them. We have systems in place to deal with people who break the law and who violate our organizational values. And so if there is that case there, we'll be happy to look at it and to deal with it.
He added that he is aware that some vendors may have constables as friends, and when that person sells illegally, no action may be taken.
Exactly where people would be allowed to vend, and the requirements, the conditions, and people who allow them to vend in other places than they should be vending in will be dealt with according to our own organizational rules.
The council is making an appeal to citizens to help the municipality eliminate this behavior before it becomes uncontrollable. For the NCN 6 o'clock news, I am Giselle Archibald.
Welcome back. The Guyana Power and Light Company plans to renew its emphasis on energy conservation next year. During a Public Utilities Commission hearing last Friday, CEO Bharat Dindyal stated that this is in keeping with the company's drive towards sustainable cost reduction. More in this Chardalal report.
In recent years, there have been increased calls for global energy efficiency in light of unstable oil prices and high fuel demands. The World Energy Agency report for this year shows that countries will have to explore alternative solutions to avert unsustainable energy and climatic implications. To this end, the Guyana Power and Light Company had joined the call for energy efficiency by conducting a massive energy awareness campaign. In accordance with its development and expansion plan for 2009 to 2013, it is required to roll out a similar initiative, and CEO Bharat Dindyal says this may be possible with a grant from the Inter-American Development Bank.
For the very first time, they're making grant money available for energy conservation and energy efficiency. First time. And what they've advised me is that we could access up to $1 million US.
He says energy conservation can reduce costs for both the power company and consumers. Mr. Dindyal notes that the conservation problem is partially due to the importation of high energy powered appliances which are much cheaper than the alternatives. He estimates that around 70% of GPL consumers usually opt for the more affordable appliances which often contribute to increased consumption.
We're looking at here now, and I'm revealing this at the public forum, which I shouldn't. We want to look at leveraging this $1 million US that we can possibly get from the IDB in providing energy efficient appliances for a number of consumers and taking a part of the savings they're realizing to pay back for the appliance, so the money sits in a fund that revolves. Right? And in this initiative would allow the idea to really sell itself. Because if you sit and you're paying $9,000 now, we could show you change out the fridge and some other things in the house, and the bill comes down to $3,000.
In the meantime, he says consideration should be given to the tax regimes governing the importation of energy-efficient appliances. Reporting for the 6 o'clock news, I'm Shardal Lal.
Region 5 Chairman Harinari Baldu says the administration is taking all necessary precautions to safeguard the troubled Mahaica-Berbice region against flooding. The chairman has disclosed that massive drainage works have begun, but noted that they have a long way to go as some residents continue to litter the drains. Giselle Archibald has the details.
Region 5 is well known as a troubled area during any rainy season. One such revelation was during the 2005 floods, where many communities in that region were submerged. But the regional chairman, Harinari Baldu, is now saying that massive drainage works have already started.
We have done a lot of works in all the NDC from then to now to ensure that these residential drains are cleaned. So when the rain really comes, we can be able to facilitate fast drainage into the main network.
The chairman points out that despite all the works being done for the rainy season, the region still needs cooperation from residents as they continue to litter.
But I want to take this opportunity because it is happening all the time. In many of the areas, particularly residential drains, it is clogged up, not by weeds so much in my view. There may be a few weeds, but a lot of these plastics, we still have them. If you go to Rossignol in some of the main drains, you will see them. They block the cocos up. I want to appeal to the resident to desist from these kinds of things because they're contributing in some form, to affect our drainage system.
Mr. Baldu says he cannot guarantee that the region will not flood, but is advising citizens to take the recommended precautions.
I cannot give 100% assurance, that all the drains have been cleaned. There may be 1-2 in the villages still clogged up. I'm certain of that, but we are addressing these issues, immediately.
The region does not have a disaster preparedness action plan per se, but several persons have been trained to deal with emergencies in case of a flood. And there is always a support from government through the National Drainage and Irrigation Authority. For the NCN 6 o'clock news, I am Giselle Archibald.